Starter ready? And they're off. Fair start. Star Quest, Cop Car, they took off quickly on the far side. Racing up near the rail, that's Bob the Builder now beginning to gather momentum as they go flashing past the 7. Uncle Baba has made steady ground, and Uncle Baba comes through now to dispute that lead and gets the nose in front. Bob the Builder right there on the rail, and these two bob heads for that lead. Slam Sharp and Roaring Kitty left some 2.5 to 3 lengths back. Duchess is a length in behind them. Cop Car has faded back. Star Quest is some 3 lengths in behind those. Then comes Nebuchadnezzar, and at the back of the field, he's sensational as they've left the 5 and run toward the half mile. Bob the Builder now goes on and opens a length and a tail. It's held over Uncle Baba. Cop Car now beginning to roll down against the rail. Slam Sharp is some 4.5 to 5 lengths off that lead. Roaring Kitty is a length in behind him. Duchess now begins to fade a bit. Star Quest needs to do more. He's sensational, racing out 3 wide, asked to make ground, and Nebuchadnezzar never been in it and continues to race at the back of the field as they come charging up toward the 5/16th. Can they catch this? Bob the Builder out in front. Cop Car now put to the stick and asked to do so. Uncle Baba in between horses. Roaring Kitty down against the rail, but they're at the head of the stretch, and it's a Bob the Builder and a Radish Roman, the champion jockey. They're inside the final 3/16th, and Bob the Builder now begins to go away from them, getting cracks of that step and kept up to his work. It's Bob the Builder with a furlong to run. Cop Car moving best of the rest at the moment. Roaring Kitty down on the rail. Star Quest asked to close up, but it is all a Bob the Builder and a Radish Roman. Bob the Builder romps the 7th event, maybe 10 lengths, could be more. Cop Car is second over Star Quest. Then Roaring Kitty. He's sensational. Races back in 5th. For the Miss Ruth. They're off. 6.5 furlongs. Sensational Soul misses it. Simply Enchanting and Strong Mind battle early, and Strong Mind gets a narrow lead. Simply Enchanting 3 parts of a length down on the rail. Ideal Winner races back in 3rd, some 5 off that lead. Wayne's Cherry Links and all together run as a team and beginning to make headway as they leave the 5. Life is Light is 3 further lengths back. Sensational Soul now on the go on the outside, and Pea's Head trails the field. They're at the half-mile marker and rushing into that turn for home. Strong Mind has taken charge and quickly goes on by some 3 lengths. Simply Enchanting chasing with Ideal Winner. Wayne's Cherry Links on the outside, just about 5 lengths separates the front bunch. They leave the 3. Sensational Soul is next, altogether a further 3 lengths back. Life is Light and Pea's Head now share last as they leave the 5/16th and are about to come into the top of the lane in the Miss Ruth. Strong Mind in control at this stage. Ideal Winner left several lengths back down against the rail. Toward the outside, that's Wayne's Cherry Link. Simply Enchanting is running on the spot, but up front it is all Strong Mind, a furlong to catch. Strong Mind. Ideal Winner now shaken up under the left-hand stick, but it is Strong Mind, the rider, wheeling away with the right-hand stick inside the final 16. Strong Mind and Ray and Lewis battling. Here is Ideal Winner. Strong Mind will give Lewis his second. Ideal Winner is second. Wayne's Cherry Links ahead of Sensational Soul. Simply Enchanting is back in 5th. They're off. A fair start. Nuclear Jet races near the stand fence. Prince Kazir drifting right over there as well. Don Quezi is showing some speed more toward the middle of the track. Native Flyer not too far away. Earmark Blitz is also running quickly in the early exchanges as they make their way now toward the final quarter. Earmark Blitz, Don Quezi, Duchess right against the stand fence. These are the 3 main contenders. Asked to make some ground, that's a Prince Kazir. Jukebox racing with that group. Toward the far side, Bad Gal Khaleesi in the pink cap. Native Flyer in the green sleeves now shaken up, but they drive away toward the final furlong. It is Don Quezi under the stand fence who has that lead. Duchess now asked to land a blow toward the middle of the track. That's Earmark Blitz and Prince Kazir, but it is Don Quezi, the favorite, who has the lead. Duchess now applying pressure nearest to us. Here is Prince Kazir now beginning to fly on the far side. Don Quezi battling. Prince Kazir exploding on the far side, and Prince Kazir beats Don Quezi. Then Duchess, Earmark Blitz. Nuclear Jet is back in 5th.
Ready for a start. They're off and racing. Althea misses it and is left at the back of the field as they head towards the 6 furlong point. Altogether on the outside, just the leader from Mr. Lee, racing back in second as they pass the 6. Right against the rail. That is Bad Gal Khaleesi. Then comes Giant Vigorous, just behind them Attila. Recovering after that break and coming down into it, that's Althea as they pass the 5. And racing at the back of the field, the favorite, Secret Sensation. They head towards the 4, and it is on that lead, Mr. Lee, about 3/4 of a length in front of racing in second. That's all together. They're 5 lengths in front of Bad Gal Khaleesi. Then comes a Giant Vigorous. Recovering and coming on, that is Althea, just on the outside of Althea, Attila, and racing at the back of the field still the favorite, that Secret Sensation. They're at the top of the lane, and it is Mr. Lee kicking away from this field. Mr. Lee in front, about 4 lengths in front of altogether. Coming on the inside, that's Bad Gal Khaleesi, but it is Mr. Lee beginning to come away from this field. Mr. Lee traveling impressively at the furlong pole with a good-looking lead, about 6 or 7 lengths, and looks home and dry from here. Mr. Lee in front and traveling nicely. Bad Gal Khaleesi down into second. Althea running on for third, but it's Mr. Lee beginning to pull away. Mr. Lee comfortably in the end. Matthew Bennett and Mr. Lee by about 10 lengths. Althea runs on to be second. Then comes a Bad Gal Khaleesi, and running on for fourth looks to be Giant Vigorous. They're off and racing. Pretty Sassy misses it and is left at the back of the field over on the far side and tacking across. That is Margarita. Right there too, that's Don Quessy, Chasing My Dream, up in the to the near side, right in the middle of things. That's locked down. So it is Margarita, Don Quessy, Chasing My Dreams, and Locked Down. These are the prominent ones. Just behind them, that is Pretty Sassy as they make their way coming to the furlong pole, and it is just the leader, Margarita, on the far side. Don Quessy showing down a good challenge, and Don Quessy looks to have the lead from Margarita. Lockdown coming forward, but it's Don Quessy in front of Lockdown coming forward. Don Quessy under pressure now from Lockdown, chasing Don Quessy. Lockdown. Don Quessy beats Lockdown. Then comes Pretty Sassy, Margarita, and maybe Chasing My Dreams back in fifth.
They're off for the Kingston. My Clip staggers out, gives the rest a huge advantage. I Dream Again and Brompton Boy match strides early. Sensational Soul is tucked in between horses as they charge away now toward the 6. Brompton Boy on the outside shows narrowly. Runaway Star, these two noses apart as they go blasting past the 6. Sensational Soul is right on their heels. Mr. Lee is in between horses. I Dream Again racing on the outside of runners. Secret Sensation is the one racing on the rail. Boss Man making ground and joining those. Mark My Identity races up next ahead of Strong Mind, and a long gap back to My Eclipse as the Kingston field arrive at the half mile, and the tempo should now increase. Runaway Star, the favourite, a narrow leader. Brompton Boy continues to harass all the while. I Dream Again, close to them, only 3 lengths off that lead. Sensational Soul running a big one on the rail. There goes Boss Man. These in a very tight grouping as they approach the 5/16. Mark My Identity in front of Mr. Lee, then Strong Mind. Secret Sensation on the fade, overtaken by My Eclipse as they come thundering into the top of the lane in the Kingston. Runaway Star out on that lead. I Dream Again now asked to challenge on the outside. Sensational Soul hunting ground against the rail, but it's Runaway Star, the rider calling for the stick in the right hand. Here is Sensational Soul now throwing out a strong challenge on the rail. It's Runaway Star being driven to the max. It's Runaway Star and Radish Roman driven to the max. Here's Sensational Soul and the veteran Shane Ellis, and they win the Kingston. Sensational Soul over Runaway Star, then Strong Mind. I Dream Again, possibly Mark My Identity over Boss Man, but it's close.
They're off on racing. Slam Sharp, Good Conscience, Informal Gladiator. Those are the slowest out. Going for that lead, that's Money Mission. Money Mission in front of Bossman racing down into second. Then comes Prolific Prince right there in fourth. That is Laredo creeping up against the rail. That's Cop Car. Then comes a Star. They go past the 4, and it is on that lead. It is Money Mission. Now attacked on the outside by Bossman. Money Mission and Bossman, they share it. Just behind them and traveling into third, that is Laredo. Right there, too, on the outside, Prolific Prince. It's a tight. They're bungling up as they come at the top of the lane, and it is Bossman. Now that escapes them. It's Bossman in front. Laredo left back against the rail. Out wide, that's Prolific Prince. It's Bossman in front of Prolific Prince, and Laredo trying to come on. Also coming out wide, that's Slam Sharp. It's Bossman still in front and turning them back. Bossman coming to the half a furlong pole with a good-looking lead. It's Bossman in front. Prolific Prince, Laredo, and Slam Sharp winding up late. It's Bossman still in front, and Bossman will have this one. Bossman beats Slam Sharp, running down into second. Then comes Prolific Prince running on for fourth. That is Laredo and Bob the Builder.
They're off. Strong Mind breaks on the far side. Big Buzz is over there with that group. Another one is right with them as they race away, covering just about the first furlong. Enthusiasm, more toward the center of the course, is also running pretty quickly. Lockdown is showing some speed. Simply Enchanting and the Bangarang racing near the fence right there too. That's Easy Money as they come charging up the stretch toward the final quarter. Another one on the far side may just have that overall lead. Another one has speed and displays it with opening up a 3 or 4 length gap. Being chased up by Easy Money in the yellow cap nearest to us. That's Simply Enchanting, but it's another one continuing to show flashes of speed and holding on to that lead inside the final furlong. They've got to catch another one, and Shane Ellis, another one striding out. This is the Mother's Day special, a 16th to run. It's another one. Another one is pulling away from them in the end, but now begins to tie up a bit, and another one will win it over Lockdown. My Eclipse is third. Simply Enchanting is fourth, and over on the far side, Strong Mind is fifth. They're off. A Big Buzz breaks nearest to us. Got a good start. Giant Vigorous is tacking across. Life is Light is with this group in the yellow silks near the stand fence. Chasing My Dream is doing just that, more toward the center of the racetrack. On the far side, that's Queen Latifah, but Big Buzz looks to have the running and shows on that lead. The rider now changing his hold, and Big Buzz continues to hold them off. Queen Latifah in the orange silks races on the far side. Giant Vigorous in the white sleeves next. Chasing My Dream toward the center, but this Big Buzz now begins to tack toward the middle. Queen Latifah is showing good speed over there too, and now beginning to challenge, but Big Buzz is in control at the moment. Queen Latifah, the closest pursuer and the only one in with a chance, but Big Buzz puts them all away, and Big Buzz wins by nearly 3 over Queen Latifah. Giant Vigorous is next. Star Quest on the far side, and back in fifth, that Secret Sensation.
They're off on racing. Breaking sharply in the middle as Uncle Harry giving all sorts of problems and has given away a lot of lengths. Over on the far side, that is a Reportable Offense and Cost of Living. They are going at it. Just behind them, that's Giant Vigorous. Then comes Slam Sharp. Prince Kazir follows through. Right on the rail, that's Pea's Head. Then comes Roaring Kitty. Right against the rail, Nebuchadnezzar. Mark My Identity, and the slow starting Uncle Harry. They head towards the 4 furlong point, and it is Cost of Living, just the leader, from racing contently in second. That is Reportable Offense. Slam Sharp follows them, coming against on the rail, that is Giant Vigorous. Just behind them and coming on to, that's Pea's Head, making ground on the outside, Prince Kazir. Then comes Mark My Identity, Roaring Kitty, followed through by Nebuchadnezzar, and still never in it. That Uncle Harry there at the top of the lane, and Cost of Living kicks away from Reportable Offense. Coming once again, Cost of Living having them off their leg. Reportable Offense coming on, coming out wide too. That is Mark My Identity. It is Cost of Living in front. Mark My Identity bearing down, and Cost of Living still has a 3-length lead. It's Cost of Living in front. Mark My Identity keeps on coming. Cost of Living trying to get rid of Mark My Identity, and Mark My Identity goes on to beat Cost of Living. Then comes Roaring Kitty, Pea's Head, and the Reportable Offense back in fifth.
Now they're off for the first. Alive gets a good start, so too Money Mission. Shan Shan not too far off the fractions, enthusiastic in the blue and white, races nearest to us. Rebel running in behind him right against the stand fence. Native Flyer in the orange and green also right there too, as they sort themselves out and make their way toward the final quarter. Enthusiastic on that lead, chased by Rebel in the pink cap. These are the two main contenders at the moment. In the center, Bangarang and Native Flyer in the green sleeves. On the far side, the favorite Alive now asked to get going, but it is Enthusiastic who continues to lead the way. Inside the final furlong, Enthusiastic with that lead. Rebel now asked to close up right under the stand fence, and here comes Bangarang with a kick now, and Bangarang on the far side. Alive begins to fly, but Bangarang has taken it over Alive. Then Enthusiastic and Rebel finishing back in fifth. That's Money Mission. Perfect start. Brompton Boy on the far side with Prince Kazir. They get away quickly. He's sensational, running fast. There goes a Midnight Runner now bursting through the pack as they make their way toward the 5. They're there now. And it is a Midnight Runner on the rail. Royal Maverick racing toward the outside as they sort themselves out on the run toward the half mile. A Brompton Boy now shows on that lead from a Midnight Runner. Royal Maverick fades back a bit in third, just 2.5 off that lead. Prince Kazir racing on the outside of He's Sensational, looking for racing room. Alchemy of Souls in the green is 6 lengths off that lead as they flash past the 3. A Runaway Bay on the outside now beginning to make ground. Friends Connection just trailing. They've left the 5/16th. They're about to come into the top of the lane, and it is the favourite Brompton Boy who brings them into it with a 2 or 3 length advantage. Midnight Runner, the grey, over against the rail. Prince Kazir is running in between horses. Alchemy of Souls out wide. He's Sensational now asked to make some ground, but they're inside the final furlong, and it is a Brompton Boy with a clear advantage. The rider having a peep over his shoulder. It's Brompton Boy and the visiting Wesley Henry. He's back with us, and he's back with us with a bang. Brompton Boy strolling in to win by 6 or more over Prince Kazir. Alchemy of Souls is next, ahead of He's Sensational. Midnight Runner is back in 5th. They're off. Modern Monarch, Miracle Selection. They both came out slowly. Prince Roy dashes to the front. Uncle Baba racing out wide of horses as they line up in behind. Costa Living now moves into a clear second. Uncle Baba on the outside. Perfect Affair, Slam Sharp. And right there too with them, that's Alchemy of Souls. These in a very tight group as they've run past the 5. A gap opens up to Monarch, and Miracle Selection just trails the field. They're arriving at the half mile. They'll go running into that turn. Prince Roy on that lead, hounded by Costa Living. Just 3 parts of a length separates them. A break back to Slam Sharp, nosing in front of Perfect Affair. Uncle Baba races just ahead of Alchemy of Souls in the all green. They leave the 3/8 now and run toward the final 5/16. The back markers at this stage, Miracle Selection, and last of all, Modern Monarch now beginning to make mild progress. They're coming into the top of the lane. They're into it now, and Prince Roy continues to lead them a merry dance. Costa Living needs to find maybe 3 lengths to get to that leader, but Prince Roy under the left-hand stick responds and continues now to open up the advantage as they flash past the furlong pole. It is Prince Roy in complete command at this stage. Costa Living best of the rest, but Prince Roy has them all off their legs and left them all for dead. Prince Roy and Richard Henry will score comfortably in the third by maybe 7 or more. Costa Living second. Perfect Affair is third. Close between Modern Monarch and Slam Sharp.
They're off and racing. I Dream Again gets a sharp start and goes for that lead. Not so altogether racing at the back of the field. I Dream Again, tackled on the outside by Giant Vigorous. Then comes Brompton Boy racing in third. About 2.5 lengths behind them. That's Papi Uso and altogether another 3. They go toward the 4, heading passing the 4, and I Dream Again kicks on. About 1.5 lengths now, 2 lengths from Brompton Boy going down into second. Left back against the rail. That is Giant Vigorous. Racing about 12 lengths in front, about in fourth. That is Papi Uso, and altogether has never been in. I Dream Again kicks on about 4, more 5 or maybe 6 lengths in front. They're toiling behind I Dream Again, shrinking out by Robert Hallidine. It's I Dream Again in front. Brompton Boy and
Giant Vigorous chasing down into second, but it's I Dream Again to the furlong pole with a good-looking lead, and it looks unstoppable. I Dream Again begins to pull away from these. I Dream Again. It's no nightmare. It's a good dream. I Dream Again. Pulling off and going on maybe by double digits. Giant Vigorous fighting on for second over Brompton Boy. Then comes All Together and Papiuso at the back.
And they're off and racing. A late scratching runaway star as Prince Roy gets the upper hand. And Prince Roy goes for that lead. My Eclipse racing down there too. Also there in the mixed. That is Prince Zahir and Prince Kazir and Sensational Soul. Sensational Soul though rushing down into it. Backing out, that's Prince Kazir. Then comes Royal Maverick. Behind Royal Maverick, that's Mark My Identity. Then comes Miracle Selection. Behind that one, we have One Code and racing at the back of the field, Peace Head. They head toward the 4, and it is Sensational Soul, just the leader, about a length in front of Prince Roy racing in second. My Eclipse tracks them in a third. Right there in fourth, that is Prince Kazir. Back there in fifth, that's Mark My Identity. Then comes about a 5 length before we come to Royal Maverick as they come entering to the top of the lane, and now going through, that is My Eclipse on that lead. My Eclipse in front, right against the rail, still there. That's Prince Roy coming with a good-looking run, but it's My Eclipse in front of Prince Roy. Also coming on, it's Mark My Identity, but it is still in front. My Eclipse in front of Mark My Identity coming on best of all, still against the rail. That's Prince Roy. It is still My Eclipse in front. My Eclipse getting out of the grasp of My Identity, trying hard to bridge that gap, but it's My Eclipse going on to score from My Identity. Mark My Identity. Then comes Prince Roy, Prince Kazir, and
Thank you for watching another video produced by the team from QuickGallopJaya.com and its YouTube channel, The Quick Galloper. Please stay on the channel for other enlightening videos on those involved in local horse racing. Please like, subscribe, and press the notification bell.